Hey everybody, Marc Sadowski here. I recently had the opportunity to try out the brand new Fujifilm X-E5 along with the 23mm f2.8 lens. Now granted, I know Fujifilm has had this camera out for about a month now, and the pre-orders for it were a lot sooner than that. But if you are looking for a review that is looking into tech specs and the finer details of the camera, this is probably not going to be the review. I'm here to more talk about the feel of the camera and my impressions, basically my impressions on the camera. I've had the opportunity to try this for about a month and a half, and I took it to a few places that I think really put it through its paces. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, the first place I took it to was a surprise proposal. Now, this is really cool because this surprise proposal was in a hot air balloon, and it was right at sunrise. So it was really cool. I coordinated everything with the groom-to-be as well as the balloon company. I was there basically blending in with the crew, pretending I'm doing photos for social media and whatnot. I thought that was a really good disguise. So we had to start very early in the morning. Arrival time is around 4:30, and it was not fun getting up that early, but it was worth it. These getting ready shots of the balloon were pretty awesome, and even though the sun was very, very low in the sky, it was the X-E5 that really pulled out the colors, and it just looked great. Once we took flight, and after the proposal happened, it was really nice. We drifted not that high. We were just right above the tree line, and I thought we'd be much higher, but my God, that sunrise just was breathtaking. And I just had a lot of fun photographing the horizon and the other balloon in the sky as well. There were two balloons that were traveling. This is something I'd really love to do again, and drifting quietly up in the sky was nice. Well, except for the burns. Those were pretty cool. Very loud, but not as bad as you'd think. And this photo here is the only one I took with the X-T5. I wanted to share it with the wide-angle lens because the colors in the balloon just absolutely popped. And then finally we were coming to a landing, and this landing was very close to some guy's backyard. We really don't have a choice sometimes where we could land. And the owners of the house were very gracious, very, very fun. We could have landed in the yard, but the pilot was very skilled in being able to land very close to that street. The ground crew was following us the whole way, and yeah, we slowly but surely came to a descent and made touchdown. It was very fun. This whole thing lasted about an hour, and then of course we all had to chip in to put the balloon away, and grabbed a few photos of that as well. The next place I used the camera was at the Mountain View Grand Resort in New Hampshire. This is really one of those old hotels that's up in the White Mountains, and it really brought in some Stephen King The Shining vibes. The hotel is beautiful. The inside has that very old, let's just say, nostalgic feeling. I can't stress how hot or how bright it was this day. It was almost a cloudless sky. And it was also, I think, the perfect opportunity to test out the EVF and LCD screen, which I gotta say, the camera performed just fine. Heat-wise, I didn't perform so fine, but it was a wedding day, and it is what it is. So I got some good shots around the property, and then we made our way back inside, and I gotta say, I have like 5 minutes of me walking these hallways. It was very fun, creepy, in that the paintings are repeating themselves. It's like you're in a video game and they're reusing assets as you keep going down the hallway. It's just repeated paintings after repeated paintings, and I loved it. This place was old school charm, and the interiors of these rooms are absolutely breathtaking. I love this place, and being able to walk around was just a lot of fun. And getting up to the bridal suite was really cool because it ends in this bookcase doorway, which I thought was just a perfect shot of this old hotel. And yeah, I grabbed it. It's not my best photo, but oh, and here's another scary one. Yeah, cheesy and scary. And then going back outside, I took a few more photos of the landscape. And in these photos, I'm actually using a custom film simulation. The guy who made this has an Instagram called Spicy Meatballs. And his name is Josh Edgoose, I think I'm pronouncing that right. But he has this really colorful pop to these photos on his film simulation. And I absolutely love it. And I thought I'd try it on these photos. And I thought it would be perfect because it just really makes the blue sky pop, as well as the reds and the yellows. If you're a primary color, you're going to pop. And I think it just really speaks volumes, especially in this area. And I had a lot of fun with it. And then finally, I took it to Newburyport. Newburyport is one of the places that I really love to test out cameras. It's a lot of fun, very laid back, not a lot of people sometimes, and there are a lot of interesting spots. So as we're starting with Newburyport, I have placed the 33mm 1.4 on the X-E5. I did this so I could have a little bit more stops of light, because while the street lights are nice, it still gets pretty dark, especially at this time of night that we're going for a walk on. And I wanted to take advantage of that light coming off the street lights, but I didn't want to introduce a whole lot of noise into my photos. The 2.8 23mm lens is nice, but I have the 33, so might as well use it. And again, I apologize for these light flares. I'm recording the video off of my iPhone, and iPhones do what iPhones do. I'm trying to remain as inconspicuous as possible. While there are very few people in this area at this time of night, the few people that are there are really cool and just, I think, give the area a little bit more personality. And walking along the wharf, you have the occasional person walking their dogs, as we see here, and being able to photograph them casually while they're walking in front of the boats is pretty cool. And the boats are still here. It's not yet past season for them, so it's really nice. And I gotta say, I love the X-E5's LCD screen. The way it flips out is ideal for me, because in these cases it actually helps me stabilize the camera. And I mean, personally, I just love the way it flips up. It is useful for me when doing selfies, if I'm doing selfies with friends, or if I'm doing video. And I just love the way it adds that little extra stability when you don't have a tripod on you. But I mean, that's just me personally. I think it works great. So some key takeaways after photographing it for about a month and a half. I have to say, the film stimulation dial is really good. I don't typically use the film simulation a lot. When I'm photographing, I usually pick one and stick with it. Any other film sims that I want to use, I'll do in post-production with the raw files. But I do have a few custom film sims that I use on the regular, and being able to switch them before a photo session really helps. And what I love about this film sim dial is the fact that it will the custom settings will allow you to have that recipe without having it affect the other film simulations. This is something that didn't happen with the X-T50 and the XM5. And I hope those cameras get a firmware update so that the film simulation dials can be on par with what's on the X-E5. It is the film simulation dial as it should have been. The other thing that has been controversial on this camera has been the LCD screen and the EVF. A lot of people are complaining that it is not up to par with the other Fujifilm cameras. And I gotta say, if there is a difference, I'm not noticing it. But then again, there's a reason why I'm wearing these glasses. I find it easy to use, whether it's dim light or strong light from the sun. I'm able to still photograph no problem. I'm not missing any details. At least I don't think I'm missing any details. And I think it's just fine. But again, that's just my opinion. Your mileage may vary, especially if you have better eyes than me, which is not hard to do. I have a pretty strong prescription. I mean, overall, I think this is a great camera. It is not only a great entry-level camera, but it's also a great casual camera to have as a professional, or a really good backup camera to have if you're a professional. It's a lot of fun. It's super well built. It is a sexy camera. It is the ultimate form for the Fujifilm X-E series. The X-E4 was nice. The X-E5 is a lot nicer. The question is, am I going to get this camera? Short answer is yes, probably, eventually. Long answer or short-term answer, probably not. And the reason for that is the price. Now, a lot of you may have noticed that all camera prices have increased. Fujifilm, as well as all the other brands. And that kind of put a damper on things. I was expecting it to be more than what the X-E4 was back in the day, because the Fujifilm camera now has IBIS. This happened when the X-T50 was announced. I had a feeling it was going to be on par with that. But then the tariffs happened and all that fun stuff, and we got it to the price where it is now. Now I'm kind of stuck, because on the one hand, I really want this camera, but that would mean, should I give up my X100VI for it? Now, there are pros and cons to both of those cameras. The pro for the X100VI is that it's very compact, it has a great lens that is really suitable for low light, and it's a lot of fun to use. The X-E5, when paired with the 23mm 2.8, is small and compact, probably smaller and more compact than the X100. But that extra loss of that one stop of light lost, it's kind of a deal breaker in some respects. I mean, I could mentally go around that saying I could just switch the lens because it is an interchangeable lens. But then you would lose that compactness that the camera has. Also, the flip out screen that flips way to the top, I actually like that. I would probably use this camera a lot for web calls, recording video like I'm doing right now. I mean, there's a lot of uses I could use it for, but again, I can't justify the price right now. So, do I want to sell the X100VI just so I could get the X-E5? Man, that is a tough one, and something that I'm not going to make lightly, because if you remember my last videos, I've had a lot of fun with the X100V, but I sold that to get the X-E4, and then I regretted my decision. I sold the X-E4 just so I could buy the X100VI. I don't want to rinse, repeat that whole thing all over again. So the way I see it is, I'm going to wait and see. I don't need it right now. I'm perfectly happy with my X-T5s right now. and I'm perfectly happy with my X100VI. I mean, I waited a long time to get that X100VI, so I'm not going to just give it up again. I'm not going to make that mistake again. But we'll see. Maybe I will. I should put a poll up on the YouTube feed to see which road I should go down. It'll be interesting to see what everybody has to say. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now. Do I recommend the camera? Absolutely. If this is your first camera, I think it's a definite must-buy if you want to try something new in the system and start off with a really great camera. If you're looking for something a little bit more professionally built, like the X-T5, I would recommend that camera as well. I mean, they're all good cameras. They're all performing on par with one another. It's just the form factor that you're really looking at. If I had the means to buy it right now, I probably would, but it's going to be a wait and see for me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested, follow me in my socials. The links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.